Okay, well, so I want to talk about how I think that everybody should be independent. I think that everybody should be independent. I don't think that like there should be associations and how would you say it, congregations and stuff like that. I think that there should be like because there's a difference between going to an event or a social gathering, you know, versus going to a congregation where you're congregated and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I don't think that this should exist. I think that everybody should be independent. You know what I'm saying? And that in the cases where people are not independent, everywhere you could see it, associations, congregations, and et cetera, et cetera. Right. And the way like at first they always give this, how would you say it, this illusion, this presentation, of what the group, of what the association, the congregation is about. They always give this, how would you say it, introduction per se, right? And they make like an event about it, and so it's all very, how would you say it, welcoming. I mean, it's almost like a welcoming, right? And but right after all that, like you start to get to know the people and you start to get to know their defects, you know what I'm saying? And it all starts to fade. That one, how would you say it, that one image, that one, how would you say it, sensation at the welcoming, at the welcoming, the presentation on how you met somebody and how little by little, that image of, how would you say it, of the person starts to fade. You know what I'm saying? One time I met this guy. His name was Handley, right? His name was Handley. He was a corrections officer, and I would always see him from far away. You know what I'm saying? I was always in my bunk. I was tired and I was laying down a lot. I would read books and I would sleep a lot. And so this officer, I would always see him from afar, right? And I always thought, this guy, he's a, what do you call it? He looks to be, smart. He looks intelligent. He looks, and so I started to feel better, and I'm like, let me draw to this guy and see how what type of personality he has. And I don't know how is it that you know the image that I had from him from afar was different, and I still question myself about it. How is it that I drew near to him and his personality? It was almost like if it changed. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm trying to say, it's weird, because in that case, I guess it was extremely weird. But there are some cases where I've met people and they've changed in a period of, some people, they've changed in a period of like 3 or 4 months. And other people, well, they always give this false presentation for the most part, you know. For the most part, that's the way they are. They always give this illusion, this how would you say it, um yeah, I guess you could say an illusion of what they are, but then you start to get to know them, and then it's like, wait, man, when I first met you, you know I thought you were different, man. I had a different, um opinion about you. And like I said, these congregations, they're all very similar. They're all very similar, and they do the very much the similar. Uh, they do their same similar activities, and how would you say it? It's all very depressing once you start to acknowledge it, and you see it from afar. You see it from afar. You see them from afar. You know, it's not no longer like a welcoming. It's like the end part of it. You know, the end part of it. You know, and it's like I feel sorry for them people. You know, because I mean they don't know. Like you could try to explain to them, but they wouldn't understand. You know, and so I was in Cristo Vive, this rehab, I guess. Well, it's to me, I call them homeless shelters because there's nothing more here in Mexico. So I was in this homeless shelter called Cristo Vive, right? And I was telling the leader, right? I was telling them that people were repeating the same phrases every day and laughing at them laughing at them constantly, laughing at them, and it's like every day, like get past it, you know, invent another phrase or, you know, get past that. And the the leader was like, you don't, you shouldn't say that. And I was like, what is true? This is how I feel. I feel, how would you say it? Like if I'm suffocating with so much ignorance. And so, and I also wanted to say that you can see them from afar, and that because of lack of dignity and consciousness of what is right, of what is actually right and what is wrong, what is correct and what is incorrect, you know, they even try to flaw, be boastful about the situation that they have about the situation that they're in, you know. And so it's like they're lost. You know, it's almost like if they're lost and they need correction, but since they're united, they're so confident that their confidence blinds them. That's what it is. And so I also wanted to say that we are like plants. I feel like the humans, like each and every person is like a plant. You know what I'm saying? A plant, you know, that is healthy. You're not gonna place a healthy plant beside a plant that has, you know, some type of now I've been in Mexico for too long. I was gonna say plaga, which is plague. You know, you're not gonna put a healthy plant beside a plant that has plague, that is infested with plague. You're not gonna do it. Why? Because it's gonna get infested too. You know what I'm saying? And so each and every person is distinct. There's numerous levels of society. And so uh, you start to recognize, you know, different people, how you treat them. An aggressive individual, you know, because they get really aggressive. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you get some really aggressive people that are out there. And so you don't say nothing to them. You keep quiet, you hold your tongue, and you dunk down. You duck down and you huddle into a ball if it gets physical. And you cry out the name, you cry out to Jesus Christ Himself. And so what I'm saying is that each person is very different, you know, and that each person should be treated different. And because bottom line, we have to respect each other, you know. And this group where I'm at, they teach that the drug addict, the alcoholic, before they're alcoholics and before they're drug addicts, they're people that are sick. They're sick. You know what I'm saying? That's what they teach us. That they're sick. But before that, before they're alcoholics and before they're drug addicts, ignorant individuals, they're sick people. How could you explain to an ignorant individual what he's doing wrong, when he's ignorant. See, he's sick. You have to treat him as a patient. You have to treat him as a patient. And I also wanted to say that these people, like some of them,